Ladies and gentlemen, funny isn't it how some people go out of their way to tear others down, to chip away at a person's dignity, and yet they never stop to think that maybe, just maybe, the same thing could happen to them. They took pleasure in disrespecting you, in treating you like you were less, like you were there to be stepped on, belittled, or disregarded. They laughed at your struggles, pointed fingers at your weaknesses, and didn't think twice about how their words and actions hurt you. They saw your pain as entertainment, your humiliation as their triumph, your discomfort as their validation. But now, the tables have turned. Now, they find themselves on the receiving end of the very disrespect they once dished out with such ease and callousness. And it's a bitter irony, isn't it? It's a strange kind of justice, this. The universe has a way of correcting the imbalance of power, of making sure that those who prey on others get a taste of their own medicine. It doesn't always happen immediately, and it doesn't always unfold in ways we expect. But rest assured, the seeds they sowed in arrogance, in pride, in cruelty, are the same seeds that will eventually sprout in their own lives. They thought they could get away with it. They thought they could break you down and build themselves up on your misfortune without any consequences. But the truth is, life doesn't work like that. We are all accountable for the way we treat others. We all answer to the energy we put out into the world. And when that energy is filled with negativity, with malice, with condescension, it has a way of coming back to us, often in ways we never saw coming. They laughed at your pain. They mocked your struggles. They assumed you were weak because they couldn't see the strength within you. They couldn't see the resilience you were cultivating, the silent battles you were winning every day. They didn't understand that every time they tried to break you, they were only building you. They didn't understand that every time they took pleasure in your discomfort, they were unknowingly planting the seeds of their own downfall. But here's the thing, you didn't let them win. You didn't give them the satisfaction of seeing you crumble. You didn't let their words define you or their actions dictate your worth. You stood tall, even when it felt like the world was trying to tear you down. And now, when they look around and see the very same disrespect they once showed you being aimed at them, they have no one to blame but themselves. It's important to remember this. The world doesn't forget. People don't forget how they were treated. And when you sow disrespect, when you take joy in the suffering of others, when you make a habit of demeaning people to make yourself feel better, you are setting a dangerous precedent. The law of reciprocity is a powerful thing. What you give out, you get back. It's inevitable. It might not happen immediately. It might not even happen in the ways you expect. But rest assured, it will come back to you. You can't pour toxicity into the world without eventually having it spill back into your own life. The problem with disrespect, with treating others as less than, is that it dehumanizes people. It takes away their dignity, their worth, and their voice. It convinces them that they are not enough, that they are undeserving of kindness, of respect, of fairness. But here's the thing. No one has the power to define your worth but you. No one has the right to diminish your light, your potential, your strength. And no matter how much they try to push you down, to make you feel small, you are still worthy of respect. You are still deserving of love, of kindness, and of recognition for the person you are and the strength you carry. When you encounter disrespect, when you face cruelty or hatred, it's easy to want to respond in kind. It's easy to want to lash out, to return the pain they've given you, to give them a taste of their own medicine. But let me tell you something. That is the temptation of weakness. That is the temptation to meet hate with hate, anger with anger, disrespect with disrespect. But real strength lies in how you choose to rise above it. Real strength lies in not lowering yourself to their level, in not giving in to the urge to retaliate. Real strength lies in standing firm in your own worth and knowing that you don't need to stoop to their level to prove it. The truth is, they might never come to realize the harm they've caused. They may never apologize. They may never acknowledge the damage they've done. But that's okay. Their actions are not your burden to carry. What matters is how you choose to move forward, how you choose to carry yourself with dignity and respect, no matter what others do. They might have disrespected you, but that doesn't mean you need to disrespect yourself in return. You don't need to lower your standards just because they lowered theirs. You don't need to respond to their cruelty with cruelty. The true measure of your strength is in how you handle adversity, how you maintain your integrity, even when the world around you seems to be falling apart. And as for them, well, they are getting a taste of their own medicine now, aren't they? They thought they could break you, but all they did was show you how strong you really are. And now, as they find themselves being disrespected by others, they have to face the uncomfortable truth that they are not invincible, that their words and actions have consequences. They thought they could walk all over you, but now they see what it feels like to be on the receiving end of that same treatment. And it's not so pleasant, is it? It's not so funny when the shoe is on the other foot. But this is the beauty of life's balance. What they did to you is being reflected back to them. And while they may not realize it yet, it is a humbling experience. They will learn, eventually, that disrespect is a boomerang. It may take time, but it will come back to them, and it will teach them the very lesson they tried to deny you. The thing is, this moment of payback is not something we should gloat over. This is not about watching someone get their comeuppance and feeling vindicated. It's not about celebrating someone else's suffering, because in the end, their pain doesn't heal your wounds. Their humiliation doesn't erase your scars. What this moment should remind you of is that your dignity, your worth, is something no one can take from you unless you allow them to. The disrespect they showed you was never a reflection of who you are. It was a reflection of who they are. And now, as they find themselves disrespected by others, they are being forced to face their own character flaws, their own poor choices. But the ultimate lesson here is not about their downfall. It's about your growth. When others attempt to break you, to diminish you, to disrespect you, they are testing your strength, your resilience, your ability to rise above it. They think their words or actions can hurt you, but what they fail to see is that they are only making you stronger. They are only sharpening your resolve, building your character, and reinforcing your ability to stand tall in the face of adversity. So when they find themselves being disrespected, you must remember that it is not your fault. It is simply the result of their own actions coming full circle. So what do we learn from all this? We learn that people's attempts to tear us down do not define us. We learn that our worth is not contingent on the opinions of others. We learn that true strength comes from resilience, from rising above the hate and cruelty, from not letting the actions of others dictate our own behavior or self-worth. And we learn that while people may try to make us feel small, life has a way of balancing the scales, of making sure that disrespect is always returned in kind. It may not happen immediately, and it may not always unfold in the way we expect, but the law of cause and effect is inescapable. They took pleasure in disrespecting you, but now they are learning what it feels like to be disrespected by others. It is a lesson they will carry with them, and perhaps it will open their eyes to the power of empathy, humility, and respect. What should you do now? Keep going. Keep standing tall. Keep honoring your worth, your dignity, your strength. Let the disrespect they showed you be a reminder of how far you've come, not of how far you've fallen. Let it be the fire that drives you forward, the fuel that propels you to greater heights. You have nothing to prove to those who tried to break you. You have everything to prove to yourself. that you are strong enough to face whatever comes your way, that you are worthy of the respect you give to others, and that you will not allow the cruelty of others to define your journey. The disrespect others show you is a reflection of their character, not yours. While they may have taken pleasure in bringing you down, life has a way of showing them the consequences of their actions. But your response, your resilience, your strength, these things define you. And no matter how much they try to break you, they can never take away your worth. Your worth is yours alone. No one can ever diminish it unless you allow them to. So stand tall, rise above, and remember that your strength is your greatest weapon.